Hello everybody and welcome back to Mr. and Mrs. Godfrey. Thank you for joining us yet again for another fun-filled episode. We have a question, but we didn't really rehearse how we're going to answer it, so that's always the exciting part for me.
Yeah.
My husband he suffers from what I call word vomit. Sometimes he just says things. So I don't really know what he's going to say. You guys will get my real life reaction the same time you react. So before we jump into the question though, we want to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and share this video.
Come on,
your family and
she's
friends,
so perfect with it. Come on, man.
I'm getting better, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm a YouTuber.
Okay, they make me shine, 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 shine,
When and how was your first kiss?
So I remember exactly when it was and how it was. He asked me this question the other day. He didn't remember when our first kiss was. It was a few days before he proposed. And it actually happened. He came to visit Maryland in January. So after I saw him in August, he went back to Houston. Then he went to New York, and before he went back to Nigeria in September? Before he went back to Nigeria in September, he came back to Maryland, right? Okay. So we didn't kiss like during any of that time, and then I didn't see him again until January when he came back, and I met up with him at his hotel. At this time, we were dating. By this time, we were in a relationship.
You know when we started dating exactly?
It was October something.
We met in August. End of August, that's when we met face to face. We started dating in October, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then January, he came to visit, and that's when our first kiss happened. So it was after my aunt's birthday party, and I was dropping him back.
I don't remember. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was dropping him back at his hotel, and he was staying like an hour away from me. So I dropped him off, and I was going back home. And as I was leaving to go home,
the whole cocoa is that me, I'd already made up my mind that this babe that has been doing all those this thing. Let me just be peacefully mind my business and not do anything. No, I don't have power. I'm a Christian. I'm a church boy. I'm a born again Christian, Jesus boy, and all of those things. So I had made up my mind that I'm not gonna. If it is still after wedding before kiss.
Do you remember that you said to me that you feel like I would initiate our first kiss? Do you remember saying that? He said that. And I was like, I don't dispute that. I think that when we kiss, it'll be because I kissed you.
The bro here was not the one that started this kiss matter. It was this daughter of Zion. Because I just know that last time I spoke one thing, I got into big trouble. So I said, I'm minding my business. So she was
the first person to kiss him. It happened as I was dropping him off at his hotel. And it was a few days, maybe a day or two before he proposed. And we got a lot of comments and feedback about us kissing before we got married, which it was something that I went back and forth about, because as a Christian, you know, all these different doctrines
in Africa, in Nigeria,
add some context, because it's different.
It's almost like people just lie and pretend to themselves, because the truth is that a lot of people do all of those things, but we did not have sex.
We didn't hide it
till after our wedding night. But talking about kissing, I'm gonna be honest. I did it. I did it. And it was. And people have said different things about it. People have their different doctrines about it, like you said. Yeah. But before you accuse us and say, oh, the brother in Christ and all of those things, I'm being honest.
Before you got married. You said they're not kissing. They're all kissing.
We did it and we kissed. It was just a couple of days before I proposed, I was surprised because I didn't.
He didn't think we were gonna kiss before we got married. He didn't know.
But did the bro reciprocate? I went in. I went in.
So we did. That's how and when we kissed. I initiated our first kiss, and it happened a few days before he proposed, which was January 9th.
And let's be careful not to get this twisted. You know definitely when something is right. And I know that there's a thin line between when it goes from kiss to this, to this, to this, to this. And then I also know that some people will say, after all, they kissed before they got married. No, she knew that if not because she was being careful about love, she had so much restrictions.
Yeah.
I would have married her till 1 month after I was married.
He was ready to get married in December.
So don't go and meet a guy tomorrow and then the guy starts talking to you on the phone and you go and start kissing the person. Okay, you are entering one
Respect
chance.
yourself.
Now this is a perfect segue to the next question,
Okay.
because before the kiss, Erica, something must have happened. When did you know you guys were in love?
That's a good one. Okay,
How did you know?
It took me some time to get there. My amazing is one of my favorite words, FYI, because I noticed I said that a lot of times in the last video. But he's amazing. So my husband, being the Nigerian man that he is, he knew, like he said, very, very soon after us meeting. But for me, it took some time. It took
a long time.
I had boundaries that bordered on walls. Like, I was like, no to this, no to this, no to this, maybe to that.
I want to
yes
say,
to this,
let me
no
give
to
you an
this, no to
idea
that.
of what the wall looks like. You know the walls of Jericho? It was built. People
They
can
weren't that
literally
strong.
build a house on that wall. She built it. She put lots of security guys with guns in the wall. Everything. So I was almost like, at some point, I almost was going to give up. I know every time I don't call you. Listen.
Yeah,
I'm
his friends had
tired
to
of
talk
these
him down a
things.
few times. And I didn't
And
even know
listen,
that until afterwards. He was going,
Like
he
I was
going to cut it off a few times.
I was done a couple of times.
And
I'm
each
go-
time the Holy Spirit had kind of given me insight and I softened a little
And
bit.
she would always
It was a real
have a way of
prayer
just chilling.
that the Lord would help
and
me.
I think one of the questions we should ask is, what was any instance that brought you to that point? But her own instance was me talking about sex.